Hello everybody and welcome to ChannelLogic. How are you guys? Sorry for disappearing for very long. So apparently after I graduated school, I went to look for a job and I was working and I was struggling here and there trying to adjust. So uh, and recently I saw there's these two famous content creator. I think it's called I Show Speed and Amy Flamey. So there was this issue of a lot of uh, from my perspective is a lot of understanding on different styles of thinking. So why I'm doing this video is because I feel it relates to me as well. As an individual I could relate. So I was reading, so after work I will read a lot of books. As you all know, I'm a psychology student, right? And I read a lot of psychology books. And of course when you do something, right, you don't just blindly read it, you need to think, right? And it kind of relate to me. So before I explain the whole thing, let me give you an example. Okay, so for boys, right, or male in general, we are talking in general. Of course there'll be some, obviously there'll be some people who are exceptions, but we are talking in general. Most males thinking is very horizontal, right? Females thinking is very vertical, meaning a guy think more on straight and then reverse, right? And a girl thinks left and then right. So for example, if a guy chases a girl and the girl doesn't respond, he will withdraw. And for a girl, if she chases a guy and she moves at one direction and the guy doesn't respond, she will flip and move to another direction. So guys is go forward and backwards while girls go side to side. So as you can see, even in I Show Speed and Amy, right, there was a lot of communication, a lot of confusion, right? I wouldn't say any one of them is correct or wrong. In my perspective, how I see things is a lot of misunderstanding. It could be due to cultural difference as they are both from two different countries. It also could be due to how they interact with the people at their country. Like I Show Speed from country A, Amy Flamey from country B. The guys there and the girls there, right, they're kind of different, right? Like I give you an example, like at my work, right, people are very friendly. We would immediately communicate from the first day of work till now, right? So but when I was at school, people are more reserved. Not say they're not friendly, they are more reserved, right? They just do their own thing. It's not wrong. So sometimes we need to observe, and not just observe blindly, but think, right? Think, right? So in my lecturer's opinion, he said always find the logic behind the storybook. Or like my friend say, in life is a story plus a logic, right? Both of them are extremely intelligent people. So I can relate to it. There was this girl that I really liked at school, right? My friend told me that time to concentrate on study, but I wasn't able to, right? So my classmates graduated at 2023. I was so heartbroken and so emotionally and mentally non-functionable, and ended up to remodule, right? I think I remoduled 2 modules, yeah. So and they had to wait for the result. So one I had to. So overall, remodeling I had to wait for few. I had to do the one topic few months and then wait another few months for result. Then do another topic, wait another few months for the result. and then have to wait for the overall result, right? So you have to wait for each individual results, right? Then you have to wait for the overall result again. So overall, I graduated late, right? As I was saying, I graduated a year later, and I could see where ISO speed is coming when I confess to this girl that I like, right? Let's call her Flower lah. I mean, to me, she's very beautiful inside outside. I'll call her a flower, right? So this a flower girl, same like Amy Flamey, he like I should speak confess to her, but from my understanding, right, after observation at like workplace, school, reading books, and me always sitting down and do a lot of thought process, because like I said, I'm a thinker, not a doer. Just like at work, my colleagues and my superiors confronted me about my performance, and obviously my performance is not good. Like I said, episode 1, I'm a thinker, not a doer. But when they saw me talk and explain my case, right, they were stunned, like, oh, I always thought this guy was a bit of a blur person. I didn't realize actually he can think. So as I was saying previously, there's thinkers and doers. Doers are people who perform well at work, in the working world, and thinkers are people who think a lot of things, right? So it is different, to each his own. Everybody has their strength and weakness. And when I confessed to this girl, right, this girl didn't respond. And later when there was a, what's it called, she making her move on me, I redraw. Not because I want to play some kind of mind games or what, because I felt that as I move forward, there was no interaction. So I redraw. Like I said, guys think at a horizontal. Okay, vertical, yeah. Horizontal. They think in forward and reverse. Girl think side to side. Vertical. Same for ISO speed. He confessed to Amy Flamey. Amy Flamey did not respond and he redraw. Right? And so this is the girl's perspective, right? So you say you like me, but you're not chasing me. No, because you see, girls think on a horizontal, right? They think from A to B to C to D, from A all the way to Z or Z, whatever you all call it. So 1 to 24, right? Alphabet A to Z. They think sideways, right? Guys think of more of A1, A2, A3, A1 to A24 rather than A to Z. So if forward doesn't work, we move backwards. That's what is going on. How they behave to each other, I would say sometimes when human have too much emotion on you, right, you tend to lose logic. I did quarrel with people at the workplace. So I know I'm not really the best example, right? So even though I'm ChannelLogic, I'm still human. I still have emotions, right? So I can understand that both sides have very heated, strong emotions, and it's understandable from a logical point of view. So I believe things can work out for them. I think sometimes people just need time alone, right? And sometimes people need to understand that, oh, there's another perspective. Girls tend to also show emotions on the outside, while guys tend to hold emotions on the inside. When you're a lot of people saying that I show speed was giving that blank face, like when Amy was crying, actually he's hurting inside. It's just that he cannot express. While when girls they hurt, they express through maybe through tears. It's the same for me. When I was hurt with the girl, I had this blank expression and I could not function. I could not study. I had a mental, emotional breakdown. Couldn't function, and I couldn't submit my assignment. I opt for remodule, and fortunately the school gave me permission, right? And I remodule lah, and that's how I graduate. But from that point of view, I can understand how it's going on. So we are not saying a guy's way of thinking or a girl's way of thinking is right. what we are saying is that we must understand both parties, right? Like be it computer or maybe manual labor, right? You always need two hands to do something. You can't have one left hand and right hand. Then you end up being handicapped. So our job here on ChannelLogic is to understand both parties' logic, not just A, not just B. Right? There are a lot of people are saying things like, oh, maybe they unfollow each other on Instagram, they block each other. I think that's a good thing to let things cool down. Right? Let them have their space and think about it. Right? When Speed was saying Amy was his girlfriend, he was saying to people like if you're going to bully her, right, you have to go through me first because Amy is my girlfriend. And when Amy said that, you say I'm your girlfriend but you don't contact me and we're not when you're stalking, it's because Amy did not respond to his speech at his confession, right? So it's two different things, right? You must understand, right? When people talk, right, they don't literally talk like, okay, like my name is ChannelLogic, that's my channel. It doesn't mean I'm always logical, right? ChannelLogic means that when something happen, I will go and observe, I go and read book, I go and think, right? This is the formula to ChannelLogic, right? Observe, read book, and think, right? Some people say, but I don't read book, I'm not so well versed in reading. Maybe you can watch a video, or maybe you can talk to a friend, right? So, right, I'm a more introverted type person, so I tend to read book, right? Maybe some people are more extroverted. You can meet a friend. Some people like to watch shows, TikTok or something like that. So you observe people, right? Have other people's opinion and your own opinion, right? So Amy's point of view is Speed doesn't have his own opinion and using the female barber's opinion, and Speed feels that Amy doesn't allow him to have other people's opinion. So in reality, to understand people, you need three things. You need observation, other people's opinion, and your own opinion. Because if you only have your own opinion, you're only seeing things like, if you're a guy, you only see forward, reverse, you can't see side to side. And if all you have is people's opinion, you're just going left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right, and it just bounces back and forth. It doesn't move, it doesn't take a break. So the best way is to have best of both worlds, right? To understand each other. And it's not that simple as well. You need to have not just left, forward and backward, you need a circle also, right? Why? Because, or square or diamond, right? You need to have different shapes outside. Okay, it's like a compass, right? You need to have the circle and the compass. Why? Because the inside part is internally for who you are. The outside part is like cultural difference. You must understand. Like I say, at school and at work, it's very different. At school, at my final year project presentation, my lecturer said to me, ChannelLogic, I can see you have very excellent critical thinking. But it appears to me that the way you talk and the way you write, it is not suitable for academia. You need to meet an academic standard of writing and speaking, right? So that's the dual part, the performance. And the thinking part, he said is great. So you see, my lecture share abstract thinking, right? Strength and weaknesses, similar and differences. So he's trying to tell me that since you already have this so-called strength, you should try to use this strength and so-called convert it, right? So I have to go and read books on how to write academic, and then I have to use my brain to convert it. So this is what I mean, right? And I'm forever grateful to my lecturers, right? After graduating, my whole person changed and I think differently. Previously, a lot of my friends have commented on me that I was very, very linear, one point direction. I was not flexible. I was going to work and I saw a friend. I spoke to him before I went to work. Not on purpose, I just happened to be walking out of the house and I saw him and I talked to him and he told me that, bro, you need to learn to be flexible, right? Flexibility is definitely one thing I lack, and we must be flexible, right? So on the girls' perspective, right, girls tend to be more flexible. Right? They move side to side, and from my observation, right, girls tend to research first. Why the reason girls like Amy or the girl that I like, right, flower girl, choose not to respond is because they want to research. They want to understand the guy first before getting together with the guy. That is girls' perspective, right? Girls' logic. But on the guy's logic is different. On the guy's logic is, I like you, so therefore I want to be with you. Right? On the girl's logic is, I need to get to know you first, then I can be with you. So, not wrong, right? One is thinking from a research point of view. As my lecturer said to me, ChannelLogic, your research skills are not good. You tend to see something and immediately state your critical thinking, state your logic. But do you have any research? But the flower girl that I like, had tons of research and then she state a logic. That's why when I look at her presentation, I was like, oh man, this girl is so fine. And my lecturer said, like, look, this girl is awesome at research. She will do her research, then state a logic. You will state your logic without research. How I know you are just, giving your opinion without any proper evidence. So girls tend to be better at research, right? Their logic, but guys tend to be better at approaching things, right? Because you would think first. You see, a guy would think first, then gather evidence. A girl will gather evidence, then think first. That's why you see in a lot of relationships, girls want the guy to chase them. That's why guy is better at approaching, because they will think first. They'll make a move. Like example, I show speed like Amy Flamey. He invited her out, for different type of dates and have different plans. Right? And that's what happened, right? Guys are better at approaching because they think first. Like example, when I like flower girl, I would think of what to say, think of how to behave. I would think first before I actually do it. Girls would do it, see a reaction, right, and then they would think. So is it right? Is it wrong? No, it's everybody is different. Right? The whole point of ChannelLogic is to allow us to understand other people's logic. Right? You see, no one is ever correct, and no one is ever wrong, because we all are different. What most important is we try to understand each other, right? It's not so much about you being correct, you being wrong. You see, from a girl's perspective, a girl's logic, like Amy Fleming, I Show Speed did not pursue hard enough, so therefore he doesn't love me, right? Because they are researching, their brain is researching and waiting for the guy to make a move. They research and then they think. While a guy is thinking, and then he plan his move and then he what's it called, execute, right? He plans his move and executes it. But you must also understand from I Show Speed point of view that you never say yes, right? You just say we go on more dates. You see, I was correct, right? The girls need more research. But the guy's perspective, anything other than yes is a rejection. So if it's a rejection, I pull back, give you space, right? Maybe you need to think about it, right? Same with the girl that I like, flower girl, like, and I can tell you after reading books, right, observation and thinking, right, emotions don't just go away, right? It's not that simple. Like it's been a year already, and every single day, be it I read my book, going to sleep, right? You know, you don't close your eye and immediately sleep, right? Maybe you close your eye, you've been activates for a while, thinking about stuff, and then you sleep. I from last year to now, right? So I think I met her at 2022 at school. Like it's been last year, and now my brain just been constantly thinking about this girl, right? Even though I know that there's no more chance, because if you truly love a person, right, you want the other party to be happy, and it's just like that's why iShowSpeed choose to remove all the Instagram and TikTok, is to give her space to let her recover, right? And love is not just something on the outside, it's also something inside. Yes, from a girl's logic, when a man loves a woman, he must show her affection. That means some form of public display of attention. Not say in public, but like express it out, right? But when a guy loves a girl, right, he holds it in. Right? So from my viewpoint, right, like if the girl I like, Flower Girl, was so hurt because of me, then let it be. Let it be a one-sided love. I'm sure iShowSpeed feels the same and thinks the same. Like let it be. Just let it be a one-sided love. Right? At least, even if, at least you know what it feels like to truly love someone. Right? And y'all say like he goes soccer and stuff like that, right? It's not that. People need something to distract themselves. If not, they'll malfunction. They cannot function. Right? So, just like me, my colleagues like to ask, so you go home do what? I say, watch TikTok, read books. They look at me like, oh, all of us just go and sleep, man. We so shit. So, you know, some people need to sleep more to recover. Some people need some form of entertainment to recover, or some kind of research, right? I tend to do a lot of reflection. I tend to sit down and think a lot, right? So I'm more of a critical thinker, right? ChannelLogic is not doesn't ChannelLogic doesn't mean I'm a logical thinker. I'm more of a critical thinker, but I call it ChannelLogic so that I can explain the logic of A and B, right? I think things through a lot, and then I use observation and I read books, and from there I see, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense, right? So this person moves A way, that person moves B. Oh, okay. By understanding the logic behind the story, like my lecturer and my friend said, you can't just see a story, you need to understand the logic behind it. You start to see a clearer picture. You start to understand things that were beyond your initial understanding. You see this bigger picture. And don't forget, it's not just the big picture, it's the small parts that count as well. Right? Amy Flamey was saying, I just paid, you didn't text. And I just said, we did text, but the conversation was dead, it couldn't flow. You must understand, as a content creator, he's not so used to texting, right? He's more used to speaking. That's why I try to call her. His forte, his ability, his strength is more on talking, right? Maybe for her, who's a university student, right, you tend to write a lot of stuff, so you tend to be better at texting, right? So you got to see other factors as well. This is what my lecturer tell me, ChannelLogic, you always very good at one factor, but you tend to miss out a lot of factors. As my friends at the time also tell me, ChannelLogic, you see factor A, you didn't see B, C, D, E. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, man. Thanks for educating me. I'm now enlightened, right? And like I said before, like even my superior at work say, ChannelLogic, you need to take criticism in a positive manner. It's constructive feedback. I'm like, oh yeah, it's true. I mean, it hurts, but it's true. And to me, I'm a person who loves it when people share their logic, but you got to share your logic in a way that I can understand. not in the way that you're enforcing the logic, then that's when I tend to, withdraw, and people like get angry. Right? You see, a lot of people get angry when you withdraw, but they don't understand that when we force our way through, and you didn't respond according to our thought process, right? Like I said, guys will think first, then make a move, right? So we are not researching, we think and then execute. Girls will research and then think. So as we think and then execute, so in my thought process, I did this, I pushed forward, but the reaction was negative, so therefore I have to reverse. From a girl's perspective, if A doesn't work, I just go to B. But by always going side to side, right, there's no forward or back movement. Right? Who say Amy can't message or call ISO speed, right? Right. You might say that yes, Amy message ISO speed, but ISO speed didn't respond. You also have to know that there's also a culture difference, right? Maybe in country A, people tend to be more affluent in their articulation, and in country B, people tend to be more well versed in their written. It's quite true. At school, I was people in my class and my classmates and my lecturers will see that I'm very, very well versed in talking. I'm very, very bad at writing. So I can understand. I totally can understand I should speak point of view. Some people say why he only at live, why he don't do it privately. It's because to him, right, I like this girl and I want to show this girl to the rest of the world. But to her, in the other side of the point of view, you're just using me for content and you're not loving me without the content. So you see, it's two different point of view. Like the girl that I like, Flower Girl, she also feel like why you only do YouTube and talk to me through YouTube, why not talk to me directly? Like I tried to, but a very negative response, right? She was very upset at me, and so I had to back off. And ever since she got angry at me, I had to back off. I couldn't talk to her ever since. And I can't understand their pain. But the main point of it is telling you their love story, telling you my love story, and telling you the logic and my critical thinking. This is what the episode is about. So I hope you guys see a different light, right? Okay, and one more thing, girls tend to connect the dots when there's no dots. This is a good thing and this is a bad thing. It's a bad thing when A and B and C has no link with each other, but it's a good thing if you manage to catch the chain of event, right? Sometimes you do A, right, and you cause people to feel B, therefore people react in C. But sometimes A, B, and C has no link because they're doing side by side, so that's how their thinking works. And for guys, you tend to be too narrow vision. Like I should speak, oh, because of my hair being done by a female and she's upset. No, it has nothing to do with your hair being done by a female. Even if you get a male and do your hair, and that male was talking to her, she'll respond and say, I'm talking to Aisha Speed, not talking to you. You see, it's too narrow. Right? The main point is she wanted to have a one-on-one private conversation with you. That's all. And his point of view is, I confess to you, there was no response, I'm stuck, I need a way out. So you guys, you need to tend to, right, the viewers of ChannelLogic need to understand that logic has many different forms. Like I say, there's the straightforward and reverse, which is called horizontal, and there's the vertical, and there's also circle. You got to see your surrounding, your environment, right? The culture, right? And things are different. Like I did not realize that at school people are more reserved. People are sitting down there doing their research, thinking of how to write their research. So people are more reserved. No one is going to be so upfront like at workplace where everybody is trying to make friends so that life is easier for us at the job, right? So when I went to work, I was also shocked. Like, I thought everybody just reserved. Then I realized that, oh no, it's different. See, we all always need to factor in that culture thing. And even you work like 10 different company, 20 different company, you also realize every culture is different. Like my superior once asked me and say, so how are you adjusting to this job? I say, there's a culture difference. This is very new. I have never seen or met this type of culture before. Even though I worked multiple jobs in the past, I will need more time to adjust and to sit down and think on my own. Right? Maybe I need to do more research. Maybe I need to do more observation. Maybe I need more thinking. Right? So, right. And as my friend like to say, you're the circle within the square. That means it's a misfit. Right? So, yeah, and sometimes there's a square also. Right? Not everything is right. All these directions are just a so-called like a guide for you all to understand. The main point is everybody is different, and it's not about proving who's right or wrong. It's about understanding the other party and getting the other party to understand you. It's like you go to buy a food, you give money X amount, and then the food store owner or the restaurant or whatever you may be gives you that food. So it's an exchange, right? That's how logic works. It's an exchange on thought process, exchange on information, right? And try your best to let things work out. And if it doesn't, if you truly love the person within your heart, you'll set the person free, because it's too painful to see the person that you love hurting because of you, right? I wouldn't want that to happen. You still thinking about the girl, just like I should speak, right? You still thinking about a girl. So that's all for now, and thank you everybody, and stay tuned to the next ChannelLogic. I'm sorry, so I had no topic to speak about because I'm struggling at work, number one. Number two, to produce logical videos with psychological evidence, with observation, with critical thinking, takes a lot of time to think. So I've been thinking a lot. Then now I happen to have some time today, and I happen to know how to explain my case. So have a nice day, and see you guys at the next episode. Bye.